Hello, Panther Nation. Welcome in to FIUsports.com. Brian Duvall alongside head coach Ron Turner of your FIU Panthers as we are getting set for the start of the 2015 regular season. And, Coach, first of all, thanks for some time. I know you got to be really happy that now we're into game week now.
Absolutely, Brian. This is what all the work in the off season, spring ball, summer, fall camp, everything we've done is for game week. You can tell with the guys. You sense a difference in them just knowing it's game week.
Coach, going into your third year of the program, obviously, we don't like to compare teams. Each team is different, but do you see this team definitely has taken another step up and is ready now to win?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think these guys believe that they can win now. Before, we're kind of hoping that we would win and could win. I think now they believe that we can go out there and win if we take care of our business. I sense more maturity and more focus and a little bit more seriousness from this team. Not that the other ones weren't serious and weren't focused, but I think each year it gets a little bit stronger. I think our work now is more for a purpose than just working hard. Now we're working for a purpose.
Coach, if training camp had to be summed up in one word, the one word that I would see in being around the team and interviewing the guys was determination. They were determined this year to ready like they had something to prove. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no question. And they have been since the end of last season. They know how close we were in a lot of those games that we didn't win, that we could have won, and I think they're determined to make sure that we finish those games out this year. So determination definitely would be one, but I think the biggest one that I would use would be team. I think we're much more of a team right now than we ever have been. Last year we got close to being a complete team, but we weren't there 100%. This year I think every guy in that locker room supports one another, is there for one another, and truly cares about one another.
Coach, is there anything about your team that you learned through training camp that you didn't already know going into it?
Not really. I don't think so. I knew going in that these guys were, like we said, determined and practicing and playing for a purpose and believe in one another. And I think that was just kind of confirmed in the course of training camp.
Where do you think training camp helped you get better?
Well, I think techniques, fundamentals. That's the biggest thing we had to do. They worked hard all summer and everything, but we got to continue to work in the techniques, fundamentals. And you get in a tight ball game, you get in a game that's close and competitive. It comes down to techniques, fundamentals. It comes down to learning how to finish and maintaining your poise so you can execute with those techniques and fundamentals.
Coach, before we get to UCF, let's talk about your schedule as a whole. Very challenging, 4 of your first 5 on the road. And when you take a glance at your schedule as a whole, what is your overall thought on your schedule as an entire this season?
Well, it's definitely tough, no question about it. It's definitely a challenge, but I think that's okay. I think our guys are ready for it and they're up to it. Like you said, 4 of the first 5 on the road against some very good teams, and then our first conference games against the West Division champs last year, and then some that a lot of people picked to win the entire conference this year. So Louisiana Tech, very good team. So we got a lot of games before we get to that one, but it is a challenging schedule. But I think we'll be ready for it.
And let's talk about, first of all, week 1 matchup, a short trip up the Turnpike to Orlando to take on UCF, a good rival, good trip to start off your team. But, Coach, when you talk about the matchup between you guys and UCF, it's a little bit more than just a rivalry. This seems like the players seem like they have something to prove from the get-go right now.
Yeah, I think so. First of all, they know a lot of guys on that team.
Yeah.
And they played with them or against them in high school. They know a lot of those guys, and they know what kind of program it's been. The standard that Coach O'Leary and his staff have set, they're a very good program. We played them a couple years ago, and I remember saying after the game, that's what we're trying to get to, being a physical, tough, well-disciplined, well-coached team like that team, and that's what we're trying to get to, and it'll be a good test for us to see where we are 2 years later.
Let's talk a little bit about what you expect to see from UCF. I mean, do you expect to see more of kind of a ground and pound? And they obviously have a lot of very well-skilled athletes. They've won their conference several times over the last. They're just 2 years away from a Fiesta Bowl win. So what are some of the things that you look and you say this is what we're going to be looking to solve when you strap them up on September 3rd?
Well, first of all, we look at them, they're a very good team, solid all the way across. Thing that jumps out at you, they're always big, they're always physical, they're always strong. And, they're going to do what they do. They don't really try to trick you a whole lot. They're going to come out and play. Not that they don't have some wrinkles for each opponent, they do. And they always have come up with good schemes. But they're going to do what they do, and that is offensively run the ball, be physical with you, play action pass, go after some big plays, and defensively just everything starts up front for them, being physical up front, coming off the ball. And, we know that's the kind of challenge it's going to be, a very well-coached, tough, disciplined football team.
Coach, is it fun to start a season off with a rivalry game like this and being so close to where the fans can obviously travel and get their first look at the Panthers this year?
No doubt about it. And hopefully we'll get a lot of fans going up there because it should, we're looking for a very exciting, good game and against a very good team. And, so it is. I think our guys are excited about the opportunity, excited about the challenge.
Coach, the difference in the game week, obviously on a Thursday night, so you're going to get a couple of days of rest on the back end. How do you think that's going to help the team, or is there an adjustment of schedule that you guys have had to change just to make sure that you're prepped and ready?
Yeah, we've changed our schedule really from the beginning of the camp to what we're doing to be ready for a Thursday night game. And players and coaches are all tired of hearing me saying, well, today is really Sunday. It's not Tuesdays. And I go back and forth. They're like, whatever, just tell us what to do, So, yeah, we've changed it up and to get in our game week routine, for Thursday.
Coach, let's talk about your keys to victory. What does we have to do to be able to come out of there with a win?
Well, a couple things. Number one, stop the run and run the ball. That's always a key. No matter what week you're playing, no matter who you're playing, stop the run and run the football, and then protect the football and take it away. We got to win the turnover margin, and we got to be able to run the ball and stop the run.
Coach, there's always a lot of anticipation for the start of a season. The guys obviously having a lot of determination, and there's no preseason in college football. So how do you get your guys from the kickoff to settle down and just play FIU football?
Well, I think it just comes with confidence. Fortunately, we got a lot of veterans back. We had a lot of guys that played last year, and they'll be hyped up and everything at the beginning, but I think they'll settle in pretty quickly. The young guys that we do have that'll be in there, I think they'll draw from the calmness of the veterans.
Coach, I know you've been at this a while, but this has to be – is this the fun part, is getting ready to kick off another season?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Like you said earlier, getting in game week, that's what it's all about. All the work you do in the off season and spring ball and summer and everything else is for this. And when you get into game week, that's what it's all about, the strategy of game week, coming up with the game plans, getting the guys motivated and everything you do. That's why we're in this business.
All right, folks, and it's the Panthers and UCF Knights from Orlando on Thursday, September 3rd. Join us for Inside FIU Football with head coach Ron Turner each and every Monday beginning on September the 7th on Labor Day, premiering on FIUsports.com. For head coach Ron Turner, I'm Brian Duvall. Thanks for joining us on FIUsports.com.